Watched that video countless times, and it sure looks like Brittney Griner says, white girl.
What if the biggest threat to the WNBA isn't outside the league, but inside it? When Brittney Griner throws shade at Caitlin Clark, she unknowingly ignites a firestorm, and Stephen A. Smith just dropped the nuke. You won't believe what he said on national TV. Grab your seat. This gets explosive.
Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there watching on purpose. It's very disruptive. She says WNBA games used to be a chill, quiet place. You could bring your laptop and relax, maybe even get a little work done. But now it's like there's large gatherings of people watching us from the stands. Some of them are yelling crazy shit about what they're seeing, putting unfair pressure on us to score, like we're there for their entertainment. You are. The whole thing is toxic. I saw a guy with his daughter in the crowd, both of them yelling, couldn't hear what they were saying exactly, but it was either my performance or some...
It all started with a glance, the side comment, a viral clip. Brittney Griner, WNBA veteran, Olympic gold medalist and public figure, was caught on video muttering what sounded like, white girl, in reference to Caitlin Clark. The backlash was immediate. But what came next? Absolute mayhem.
To be honest with you folks, the WNBA already set a precedent. It doesn't matter what Brittney Griner said. It doesn't matter what Brittney Griner said, because they've already shown us they don't need evidence, they don't need substance, they don't need any type of proof at all to launch a bogus investigation into Indiana Fever fans, so they shouldn't need any substance, any basis, any evidence to launch an investigation into any other fan, any other player, any other group. The WNBA set.
Smith, long a supporter of women's sports, had heard enough. His patience snapped. For weeks, he watched Clark dragged by league veterans while the front office stayed silent. But with ratings up 450%, attendance at an all-time high, and Clark topping all merchandise sales, he delivered a brutal truth bomb.
Brittney Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about. Especially something like this. Fans in every sport. She described the fans.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what sport you are. It doesn't matter what sport you pick. That's how fans act in every arena.
Clark didn't just bring eyes. She brought relevance. But the league that should have protected her left her exposed to criticism from all angles. And Brittney Griner? She's not just questioning Caitlin's fame. She's practically mocking it.
We know this. Attendance for the entire league was up nearly 50% last year. According to data from across the timeline, and Indiana led all teams with an average attendance of 17,035. That was up 319% from the year earlier. 319%. 319%. All other teams still grew by double-digit percentages. So let's not forget that. But they didn't grow by 319%. That was Caitlin Clark, which means she's largely responsible for the overall league attendance records. Merchandise sales were also up 450% for the WNBA, according to Fanatics, and Clark was the top-selling player and is fifth among athletes across all...
Let's not kid ourselves, Stephen A. Smith brought it all to the surface. This isn't just about basketball. It's about what Caitlin Clark represents. A young white star dominating a league historically powered by Black women. That reality? It stings for some.
This is the magnetic attraction that draws viewers to the WNBA, and her absence over the next 2 weeks due to that quad strain is providing further evidence of that. Then everybody needs to accept it, stand down, and ride that wave. I'm going to be really interested in seeing how the ratings are going to look without her over the next 2 weeks. Let's make sure we come back and ask me this exact same question after she's been gone for those 2 weeks.
Social media exploded. Fans picked sides. Stephen A. Smith's comments trended for days. But the real question, what does this mean for the WNBA?
And also, news just came out. Ratings are higher than it's ever been for the WNBA.
Yeah.
Congrats to Caitlin Clark. It's crazy how that works.
I mean, what are you going to do? Proof's in the pudding, kind
Get a girl out of Iowa.
Exactly.
Who can pull up from the state next door.
Yeah.
And light up an entire arena, every arena.
This isn't Griner's first brush with controversy. From her domestic violence case in 2015 to her 2022 arrest in Russia for drug possession, her career has been marked by off-court drama. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has kept her focus on the game, staying silent even while teammates and rivals take subtle jabs.
Clark. Now I've taken hits because I was calling it from day one. You got people that are resentful towards her, but it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happened to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level. And they never got this kind of shine. This girl, the Golden Goose, comes along and she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting. 4th in the league, her rookie.
So, where does the WNBA go from here? Stephen A. made it clear. Recognize the gift you've been given. Market Clark. Protect her. And stop biting the hand that's feeding the league's future.
When it was really all said and done, we know what she brings to the table. But people wanted to hate because why? You had a bunch of players in this league that watched this young white girl come along and take the league by storm. And they resented it because they saw the marketing prowess that she had. They ignored the fact that you got chartered flights because of this girl. They ignored the fact that ratings were going through the roof because...
Stephen A. Smith didn't just put Brittney Griner in her place. He put the entire WNBA on notice. The question now, will they listen? Or will resentment destroy what Caitlin Clark built?
He said Brittney Griner, who Biden traded for the merchant of death, called Caitlin Clark the white female referee trash, effing white girls after getting fouled out. So that was Bobby Borak. He stated that on Twitter today, I believe. Watch this. So this is the call here, guys.
So the ticky-tack fouls that we were talking about earlier today.
The moment was shocking. The backlash, explosive. Brittney Griner, a WNBA veteran once hailed as a symbol of redemption, is now under fire for allegedly hurling a racial slur at rising star Caitlin Clark. But what happened next? Silence from the WNBA, and then, boom, Stephen A. Smith enters the arena and sets the record straight, putting Griner and the league on blast.
And what I was saying to everybody is ride the wave. Rising tide lifts all boats. The girl is spectacular. It's not like she's not a scrub. She's not only can play, she's a star caliber player who draws this attention. And maybe it's because that fan base that she has and her being a young white lady contributes to it. So what? Benefit from it. And then you have a lot of folks that have come to the defense of numerous WNBA players because they were pointing out like this has been going on before long and people are not hating on her. It's not about hating on her. It's that you feel she is getting a level of attention that you deserved and you warranted long before she ever came along. It's understandable.
It started during a high-tension matchup between the Indiana Fever and Atlanta Dream. As Caitlin Clark lined up for a shot, Brittney Griner, visibly frustrated after fouling out, muttered something under her breath. Video footage captured her words. Lip readers heard it, and Twitter erupted.
Just in the short amount of time that I watched, I remember back a while back before Caitlin was in this, of all these female professional players bitching about not getting paid what the men do, and then it was made clear that when you have the draw, when you can bring in the money, the revenue, the advertising dollars, then you'll get paid more money. Caitlin Clark has made that happen for the entire league, but these girls are doing everything in their power to destroy the Golden Goose that benefits them as a collective And the referees, it looks like somebody has paid these high school referees to basically ignore any foul.
The hypocrisy? Blatant. Just months ago, when Angel Reese faced unverified claims of fan racism, the WNBA launched a 2-week investigation. But when it's one of their own caught on camera allegedly targeting a white rookie, crickets. No statement. No penalty. Nothing.
You can definitely argue that the WNBA has been taking a hit ever since Caitlin Clark has been hurt, right? And you can also argue that the Indiana Fever have taken a hit since Caitlin Clark has been hurt, because this is bad. Right here isn't a surprise, though. The cheapest Fever ticket before Caitlin Clark's injury was $41. Without Caitlin Clark, it's $3. Now, that is crazy. The Indiana Fever have been on a 3-game losing streak ever since Caitlin got hurt.
And that's when Stephen A. Smith lit the match. Known for never backing down from controversy, Smith went scorched earth. In a segment that quickly went viral, he tore into the WNBA's silence, defended Clark's accomplishments, and called out the league's blatant bias.
Fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't going to be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect.
This clash isn't random. It's a culmination of tension boiling for months. Griner and other WNBA veterans have voiced subtle resentment over Caitlin Clark's rise. From national media attention to private charter flights, Clark represents the future. And for some, that future feels like a threat. Ticket prices, TV ratings, social media buzz. Wherever Caitlin Clark goes, attention follows. And the numbers don't lie. Clark isn't just a player. She's a walking franchise. A once-in-a-generation cash magnet. Yet the WNBA treats her like a benchwarmer, allowing flagrant fouls, disrespect, and now, racial slurs to go unchecked. So, where does this leave us? Caitlin Clark sidelined. Brittney Griner facing allegations. The WNBA silent. And Stephen A. Smith, the only one willing to tell the truth, no matter how uncomfortable. Stephen A. didn't just defend Caitlin Clark. He defended the future of women's basketball. The WNBA had lightning in a bottle, and now they're fumbling it. If the league doesn't wake up soon, there won't be another Caitlin Clark waiting in the wings. If you think Caitlin Clark deserves better, hit that like button. Subscribe for more WNBA controversy breakdowns, and drop your take in the comments. Do you stand with Stephen A? Or do you think the league is just doing business as usual? Let's talk about it.